and now one of the most popular men at this here conference, right? Everybody wants to greet him, take a picture with him, and connect with the former Vice President of Nigeria, Professor Osinbajo. Thank you so much for giving us your time. It's valuable.
Thank you.
Do you still feel like you're Vice President? Because clearly it looks like it.
Well, I think it's partly my problem because I like to talk to people.
Right.
So I'm forever engaging.
You are very open and engaging. I've noticed how you're relating to people. Thank you for that. So you just came off a panel discussion, and of course the theme for this conference is Global Africa. I want to ask you a very broad question as we look at that. What does Global Africa even mean? Okay, we've had organizations like the AU, we've been trying to unite as Africa. Okay, we talk about the Africa we want. Does a Global Africa exist when we haven't even come together as ourselves before we compete on the global stage?
Well, I think Global Africa first means Africa writ large.
Right.
Mainly Africa, diaspora, Africa here, the Caribbean, African descent.
Yes.
And then Africa's potential.
Yeah.
So I think the concept is a very fascinating one because it not only speaks of Africa as we know it today, the continent, but also speaks of Africa in its widest possible definition and its potential as well. So I think it's very
It's something that is tangible, but we've got to break it down.
Right.
So if we look at the first tenets that would build a global Africa, what's the most important thing we need to focus on as a people?
Unity. Trying to get everyone together. Unity. Because you see, so we're compared to China, we're compared to India, but these are nations by themselves. We are 54 nations, and if we add the Caribbean, then we're 55.
Yeah.
So it's a much more difficult challenge.
It is.
Uniting, working together is a much more difficult challenge. But I'm excited to see some of what is going on. So Afreximbank, for instance, is doing PAPs, the payment systems, there's AFCTA, and so those sorts of things show an economic argument for unity.
Sure.
And I think that if we show people that it makes sense to be united, especially economic sense, to be united, they will work faster.
I like that you touched on the diaspora, right? The Africans that are out there, so to speak. A lot of them are from my generation. Some of them are from yours, that left a long time ago and just have never reconnected with home. Then there's my generation, brain drains, right? How do we get them back? If we can't get them back, how do we get remittances? How do we get them to commit to their countries again?
Well, I think it's obviously not a straightforward thing, but once people see potential, once people see that we can identify with this new definition of Africa, we can identify with the potential, we can identify with actual achievement and attainment, and you find that that's already becoming the case. So people, for instance, young people, see what's going on with African music, for example, African art.
Of course, you mentioned music, being from Nigeria.
I mean, and very easy for us to say, look, I'm African, this is Afrobeat, and all of that. So people associate with success. And I think that in the next few years, Africa remains that one frontier where success is really going to explode. So more and more people are going to, more and more of the diaspora are going to associate with their roots.
Because it's going to become attractive again. Africa's going to become attractive again. Makes a lot of sense. I'm not going to keep you a minute longer. Thank you so much. You've got an audience waiting for you. So please see your people.
Thank you so much.